Все, сейчас начнется.
So, hi guys. Today we're going to talk about Quest 5th. Today we will not have a presentation about the theory because Nur Mohammed in previous Quest already covered all main functions that we'll use today. But if you forgot something, you can go to the previous video about Quest Force and watch the theory part there. I will also not turn on my camera because I have some minor issues with internet. So I'm apologizing for this. And let's go straight to the point, straight to the first 0 exercise. So what we are asked for, we have time to print each element of an array, creating my each function, which receives an array of integers and blah, 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 print each value. So there is a start code. We have examples. And here's the tips. If you don't know what is while, what is for, or what is array length, you just Google it, and instead of your coding languages, you type Python, because our bootcamp is about Python. So let's go to the code. I will remove all my folders because I already finished it. And probably first I will distinguish what is why. Because not entity again. We will distinguish what is while loop and what is for loop, because in the previous quest you were working only with for loop, but you also need to know what is while loop. So let's go to the first file, and I will show it. So what? Let's first discuss what is for loop and what is while loop. So in previous lecture you were introduced to for loop. It means that for example, I in range, and we're for example, in range 5. It means that from 0 to 5 do something, and our I here is automatically increased. We are not handling this. It is all this stuff is automatically done in this statement in for loop, and we are just saying what we will do while I is less than 5. Do something. It's okay. Or also for loop can be done like this. For key in keys. If we, for example, have some arrays, like array of keys, like 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, and so on, we will not and we don't want to work with indexes. We want to operate exactly with the object itself. We are saying, please do something with key. Or you can name it not key, you can name it object or something like this. And inside this for loop, you are do something with key. I guess it's clear. If not, please ask me. But what is while loop? While loop is usually covered before for loop, but since Nur Mohammed introduced to for loop, I will discuss now while loop. For example, we have some variable index, which is equal to 0 at the start. Then we want to say while index is less than 10, do something. And here we are increasing index manually by 1 or by 2 or like by something. So you remember that in for loop, all the stuff is done automatically. But here in while loop, we should like explicitly tell by what value we want to increment or decrement, or maybe it is like not even a number, maybe we have like variable yes and it is true, and while it is true we are do something, and at some point we change yes to false, and then this loop breaks. So you see, sometimes we want to like say explicitly that we are changing some conditions, and when we want to change some conditions we are implementing while. If we want program to do this automatically, we use for loop. Okay, I hope it was clear. Now let's go back to our exercise. So it asks to print all the stuff that we are receiving. Just a second. Okay, we receive param1, it is array. So we can do for each loop. For example, for each string, oh no, how, let's like name it. Okay, let's name it S, which will mean string. For string in param1, please print this string. Okay, let's check it by Gandalf. Success. Okay, we did okay. Let's go out of the exercise. Again, you could make all these directories by your own, like at the beginning, I just forgot about this. Let's go to the 0, 1. And let's look at the next one. Let's create it right now. So it says multiply by 2 each element of an array. So we are receiving an array again. And we are multiplying each one, and we will return the new one. If you don't know how to work with arrays, here again you can Google it. What is like array length in Python? Like array length Python, and just go to the first one and you will see. And again, this function len was discussed by Nur Mohammed in the previous video. Please watch it if you don't know these functions. So let's now solve this problem. I usually delete these comments, but you may you don't have to delete these comments. So what we are doing, we have one array and we should return a new array. How we can do, there are several solutions. I will give you the basic one, but if you want to implement like the more neater, более изящная solution, please don't hesitate to write your own. So we can like create a new array. for example, which we'll return later. Then by for loop, we will go through all integers in this array. Let's like for each element in param2. For each element in param2, what we need to take each of them and multiply by 2. So we can say new value like 2 element, and let's like array append new value. If you don't know what is append, again, you can like go to the Google and ask like how to insert new value in array. And here you see Python. And here we see by using append, insert, and so on. So I will use append here. And we just say return our new array. Let's check it by gender. I know that there is another like shorter solution to do this. Okay, success. But I will just give you basic idea. Then you can write your own, which will be shorter and maybe nice looking. Let's go to the new one. So what it asks, count the size of each element in an array. So we receive array of strings, but return array of integer, which is the length of corresponding string. You see, if it is 2 characters, we get 2, and so on. Okay, I think it's kind of easy. Here, let's use not for loop, but while loop, so that you will get the idea how to use it. So we, again, have array param1. Let's create, again, new array, empty array. Let's say we have index 0. And let's say while index is less than length of this array of our parameter. Okay, it's nicer. It looks nicer. So we will append to the new array the length of each. Okay, maybe it's not that like beautiful, but let me explain. We have index. It will increase, and it will be increased by 1 every time. Param1 is array, so take the element in the array at index, takes this length and append this length to the array. I guess it's easy for you. Let's check it. Wait. Yeah. Okay, success. Let's go out. So you see, it is a little bit longer. It takes 4 lines. If we did like for each loop, it would be 2 lines. But again, while loop sometimes is more beneficial than for loop sometimes. And like as you get more professional, you will understand where to use while loop, where to use for loop. So, okay, next one, 03. Create an array without any duplicates. So we receive an array of integers like this, but we need to return an array without duplicates. Again, you see here there are 3 ones, but we print only one. Here we have a hint: Google filter or unique in Python. Okay, you can Google it. Here I will try to solve it without filtering on or unique, but later on you can like do it on your own. Maybe it will be even shorter. So for example, we have again new array. Go for each element in param1, and you make a statement like if element not in our new array, append it to our new array. So what I'm talking about, we are going through this array. If this element is not yet in our new array, we are adding this. If element already is on our array, it will just keep it, okay? And it returns the result. Okay, success. Let's go out. And the last one is my sort. So let's create a function which tells us if an array is sorted or not. It should be either in ascending order or descending order. What means ascending? It is from less to, it's from the little one to the bigger one, and descending is the opposite, from bigger one to the little one. It should return true if it's either ascending order or descending order, and false if it is not sorted. So here's an example. Sorry. There is an example. If it's from the smallest one to the biggest one, it returns true. If it's from the biggest one to the little one, is also true. But if it's like in a chaotic order, it will return false. And you should see that empty array is true because it's kind of sorted. You can Google what is Boolean, how to sort ascending. Okay, let's do it. If you don't remember from the first lecture, what is Boolean? Boolean is such a type of variable. So it is either true or false. So true or false, just two variants. That is the Boolean. So what we'll do, again, there are several types of solution. You can Google what is mentioned here, and probably it will be shorter. Here I will give you like brute force. Brute force means like not the shortened one, but still works. If you want something like more interesting, you can do it yourself. So let's make like for each loop, for element. No, let's take it like in index in range. What I want to do, I want to go through the whole array and look either it is sorted in ascending order or descending order. So I will create my Boolean variable in the beginning. Let's say it's name the result, and by default it will be true, like as if everything is sorted. Now we are going through the array from the first index until the end. Why from the first index? Because every time I will go through the array, I want to compare it with the previous one. And since the array starts from the 0, I will go from the 1. So it can be possible to compare with the previous element. So if, for example, from 1, I minus 1 is less than from 1 I, so the previous one is less than current. No. If at some point, let's first, I will leave the comment. First, we check if it is in ascending order from smallest to biggest. And I am comparing it. If it is, if the previous one is smaller than the next one, it is okay. We will do nothing. But if the rule breaks, if the previous one is bigger, then we will what? We will say result equal false and break. So we will go out of the loop. Now let's check for descending order from biggest to smallest. We'll do kind of the same. So I will just copy paste it. And here we will do another way, like if the previous one is less. Just a second. I just forgot how I was doing this in like shorter way. If every time it was less. Maybe we can make like two variables. Yeah, I'm remembering that it was like two variables. First one was checking for ascending and second one for descending. So let's make it true. And if it's not ascending, we say that ascending is now false. If it's not descending, we say that now it is false. Now what? And at the end, we can check if either ascending or descending return true. Else, which means that it's not ascending, it's not descending, so it is ascending break to false, descending break to false. So if it happens, we just return false. So let's check with Gendel. Okay. Just okay, success. So it was the last one. I hope you understood the difference between while loop and for loop, and how to work with arrays. If you have any questions, please ask me in any languages, in Russian, in Kazakh,